Hello, welcome to the stream. This is going to be a quick stream of the game Princess Quest on iiRcade. If you've not had a chance to check this game out, this is a ColecoVision game that is actually on the iiRcade. It is a homebrew game, so it's a little bit more rare as far as games go. It's pretty good. I want to show some gameplay of this game in action. So without further ado, let's start. Very simple controls. You've got attack and jump. Hello, Digital Graffiti. This theme music at the beginning really reminds me of Gladiator. Anyone who's seen that movie, this sounds very similar to the Gladiator theme. Game was made in 2012. Actually is the ColecoVision cartridge that uses the most memory. And let's see how far I can get. Welcome to the stream if you're just joining. So we do have a iiRcadians show coming up this Tuesday. We have the iiRcadians Retro 90s show. The show's been almost a month in the making. So if you're free Tuesday night, come check out the iiRcadians. Now, one of the strategies in this game is you can farm the enemies to get your hearts back. So one of the things I changed in this longer playthrough is I eventually got to a point where when I got low, I would start trying to farm the enemies. But this game is like super hard. It's like NES hard. So, you know, you got to keep in mind, this is on a ColecoVision. We're talking a little bit better than Atari technology. So, I mean, the fact that this game looks as good as it does using that technology, I think is pretty cool. This is definitely a retro game, so if you don't like retro games, I mean, this one's probably not going to convince you to like this genre. But if you like Atari and ColecoVision games, this is a pretty solid game. The enemies are surprisingly hard to hit too. They seem to always know how to get right in between where your shots fire. So whoever designed the mechanics of the enemies did a good job, because they made it. If the enemies just lined up for you to shoot them, this game would be so easy. But it really is challenging because they like to pick that one spot where your bullet doesn't hit them. Lots of cool things hidden in this game. It totally does remind me of Ghosts and Goblins. I mean, that's immediately what I thought when I started playing it. And the fact that, you know, on the technology that ColecoVision has, this is an actual ColecoVision cartridge that if you're lucky enough to find it, you could play. It is a pretty rare cartridge. I looked around for one. I couldn't find one on eBay. I mean, this is NES hard. So, like, if you're looking for a game that you can finish on the first playthrough, you're going to be in for a rude awakening. I mean, I think the first time I played, I didn't even clear the first boss. So, like, part of the value of a game like this is that it's going to take you a while to beat it. And it has some cool things. There are actually hidden chests in the game. So the reason why I'm shooting where I'm shooting at nothing, I'm kind of poking around to see if there's a hidden chest there, because the way you find the hidden chest, your bullet has to hit it, and when your dagger hits it, then it will show the hidden chest. So you kind of want to shoot in all the directions and try to make sure you're not passing up anything good. The statue in the background is fire. I mean, to see that on a ColecoVision, if you don't believe me, go take a look at the other games that are ColecoVision games, iiRcade, then come back and take a look at this game, and you'll see, you know, the step forward that this game takes, using a very, I won't say ancient, but it's a very retro technology. And like I said, this game is not going to convert you into loving retro games, but this certainly is a decent retro game. Yeah, I definitely have a soft spot for these kind of games too. I mean, I love retro games. They do infinitely respawn. So if you got good enough at hunting them, you could farm them for hearts. But that's harder to do than you'd think. Like, I thought that would be my next strategy, but they're actually pretty good at figuring out that one spot they can be where their shots hit you and you don't hit them. Okay, now that thing flashing, that is a bonus item. You never know what you're going to get. It might be a treasure. It might be a weapon power-up. There's a golden chest of armor that I've only seen once in this game, and that gives you invincibility for a short time. Now that's what you really want. That is a weapon upgrade. Yeah, there's definitely a limit to it. I mean, this game is really at the sweet spot. It's hard, but it's not insanely hard. It's kind of like, you know, it's hard enough to be challenging, but not so hard that you won't see progress if you keep playing it. But I totally hear you, Digital Graffiti Playhouse. And that really is the trick on this kind of game. It's like, how do you make it hard enough that you just can't instantly beat it? And this game has found that formula pretty well. If you haven't joined, we do have an iiRcadians Facebook. It's a great Facebook, very positive. If you're looking for a cool place to hang out, Facebook page, check out the iiRcadians Facebook page. This is the kind of game that's very easy to make fun of, but you know, if you like retro games, if you like games from Atari era, from ColecoVision era, this is a pretty good game considering the kind of technology that you can accomplish with these machines. If you're new to the iiRcade, I do have a playlist with every game that was on the iiRcade as of 2022, and so you can check that out. In the chat, how is the sound? Is my voice loud enough? Thank you, Darth Penguin. Thank you, Digital Graffiti Playhouse. What ColecoVision games do you like? Are there any titles that you want to see iiRcade pursue? Obviously, we're going to say Donkey Kong, but we know that's not a realistic possibility. Out of the games they could possibly get, like, what do you think would be some good additional ColecoVision games to get? And I do realize that ColecoVision and retro games, it's a very small segment of people that are into games on the iiRcade. Just happens to be one of the things that I'm into. But I totally understand why, you know, some people would not be into these kind of games. I know Miami Cuddles wants them to try to get Carnival, which is a fun kind of shooting gallery game. Okay, I'm on to the first boss. Let me talk about this guy, Parnassus. He's like a pig boss. I did find the manual for this game, and that's one of the cool things. I don't know. I remember, like, when I was a kid, when I got an Atari cartridge, or I got, you know, anything, it came with a game manual. That's something that we don't have anymore. But this game, actually, they made a manual for it, and the manual's fantastic. This tells you all about the game, tells you about all the enemies, tells you how to play. This guy, I kind of used like a just climb up the ladder strategy, and it worked pretty good. I would just hop down, fire a few shots, just try to stay out of his. Whenever he touches you, he does pretty much damage. But they kind of give you a platform to kind of avoid shots. And that's it. That's boss number 1. This is a progressive game, so first time I played, I didn't even get through the first boss. But as you go through the levels, they get more challenging and harder. First level, it kind of warms you up to the game. Definitely the weapon upgrade, you don't want to lose it. So even if you have to stop somewhere and farm for a while, you don't want to lose your weapon upgrade. The weapons are the best upgrade to get. And we have some suggestions. Artillery Duel, Dragonfire, and Time Pilot would be 3 good ColecoVision cards to port to the iiRcade. And I believe there's 32 ColecoVision games right now on iiRcade, and they got some pretty good games on there. I know I like Frenzy a lot. I like Pepper 2. There's a lot of good games that we've got if you like ColecoVision games. Antarctic Adventure is a really cool game with a penguin. If you haven't checked it out, it's actually pretty fun. I think the ColecoVision games would be a good thing if iiRcade offered them in like a pack. Like, you know, I know the games are really cheap, but if they had a pack where you got like a bunch of them with like a discount, I think they might see more people trying them out. Let me go ahead and show. Let's see if it shows it here. Get it? These are the enemies. These are all the enemies in the game. Now the enemy at if I want to enemy for this level is called the Venus Night Trap. You can see him right there. The camera, where will you focus? Hey, we got Brooklyn Menace in the chat. He was making fun of me for liking this game. The funny part is I think he played it today, and I think he actually likes it too. Brooklyn, what do you think of this game? I know you didn't have a chance to play it last night, but since you've told me you've had a chance to play it, what do you think of it? And I know this is, like I said, this is a retro title. We're talking ColecoVision. Yeah, well, there you go. So, I mean, this is one of those games too, like simple to learn, hard to master. This is definitely in that category because it progressively gets harder. You're going to see what I'm talking about. So, and that's where you get the gameplay value out of it. You're going to have to keep coming back to it, and it does have an actual ending. I'm not going to lie, I research every game before I review it. I have seen the ending, so there is an ending you can get to. And it's not spectacular, but it's definitely cool, like retro games in this time period, these are the kind of endings that games had. Yeah, if this would have came out when the ColecoVision was out, this would be like a classic. Everyone would be talking about this game with a lot of nostalgia glasses on. I didn't think Brooklyn, I think he made it without having to eat the chip. Shout out to Friday Night Arcade. Love the Friday Night Arcade show. Great community show. Shout out to Cuddles Arcade. Even though he hates this game, love Cuddles. Good guy. And that's fine. Not everyone has to like every game. I mean, this is the kind of game that someone likes Atari games is going to like. Likes what I like. Have hundreds of Atari cartridges, so no duh. Now, is it a mistake, though, releasing this game by itself? I think probably so. Because this game, it's too small of a segment of the people that have an iiRcade that are going to really enjoy this game. That is hilarious. Yeah, I mean, I definitely felt like it had a little bit of a Pitfall vibe. That's why I pulled out my Pitfall cartridge. Another boss. Now I figured out the best patterns to attack these, but this one switches between the platforms. So I still decided to use like a ladder moving strategy. I really didn't get the pattern completely down. And what happens is, as this level goes on, he starts to fire more and more seeds at you. I mean, this game probably wouldn't have gotten the hate that I think some people are giving it if it would have came out with maybe a modern title. And, you know, I mean, I could only speak for myself, but for myself, I've already got my $5 out of it. I mean, and this game's going to take me a while to beat, I can tell you. You're going to see what I'm talking about as we progress. Now, you see, this boss is a lot harder than the first boss, taking a lot of punishment. And the thing with iiRcade, I mean, they all play the same games at this time. Until the light gun games come out, there's really no difference as far as what games you can play. I mean, the only thing the gold really gives is you can play as a USB port. So, has a little better sound. But I mean, I'm playing this on my original iiRcade, which I installed a Glenn's Retro Show gate switcher. Shout out to Glenn. GRS. Makes some of the best home arcade products. I'm going to be psyched when he develops a control panel for iiRcade. I'm sure it's going to be great. Yep. All iiRcade games, you get 30 minutes to decide if you like it or not. I mean, they got a pretty good system because the game, you pretty much click on it, it downloads it within a couple of minutes, and you get all that time to decide if you want to keep it or not. Yeah. I would probably love an Evercade, but the last thing I need to do is start collecting more things. But I'm sure I would love Evercade. The other thing with iiRcade that I would say, if you're new to the platform, there's no disadvantage to buying a used iiRcade. I mean, these machines don't wear out. I mean, I've had 3 that I have, and I've never really had any problem with any of them. There we go, victory! This level punished me. You see how many lives I lost. So I think you got to work on strategies at beating all the bosses to get to the end. This level's super cool. I'm going to tell you a little bit about this level. The way this level works is you're looking for 5 hidden crosses. So you cannot get through this level till you find the 5 hidden crosses that are hidden somewhere in this level. So once again, when I was saying you're looking for hidden things, that's why I'm shooting randomly. If you hit the hidden area, it'll highlight the box. And that's where you can find some really cool stuff. Now we have a mystery box up there. You never know what you're going to get. Okay, that was a cross. And you can see at the top, now I have one of the 5 crosses. If you look at the top of the display, you need to find all 5, and that will unlock the next boss. And the next boss is super cool. He is actually a beheaded knight. And here's the next boss. Let me see if we can get the camera focus on him. So, the beheaded knight is the next boss. At this point, I've went through too many lives. This game has no extra lives. There's no way to get extra lives. So, this is it. It's all or nothing. Lives are 0. So it gives you 8 lives to start with, but no way to gain extra lives. For every life, when you lose one, it kind of hurts. There we go. Now getting a weapon upgrade is huge. That's a huge benefit. So now I got the triple arrows. That's called the magic crossbow from the game manual. And you're shooting 3 arrows at once. There are different weapons. There's the magic crossbow, the mace, the boomerang. Those are the 3 different weapons. The mace is the strongest weapon available. It does more damage to enemies. And then the boomerang is a weapon, of course, which returns to you after traveling a short distance. Another secret you can find is some golden armor, although it's very hard to find. It's pretty much a rare thing that happens in the game. It only happened to me once. I do love the Frankensteins. Found 2 of the... Oh, I found 3 of the crosses. You need to find 5 crosses to unlock the end boss. So this level is kind of like a treasure hunt, because you're really looking for those crosses, because the level will never end if you don't find the crosses. So you really have to be exploring all the different spots of the levels. And make sure you don't skip anywhere. That's going to give me 4 of the 5 crosses. So I'm down to 1 now. You can see what I'm doing right here is I'm farming for a little life, because I know that I'm probably getting close to the end boss, so I definitely want to go. The other 2 levels are the cave and the castle. So there's 5 levels in this game. Desert, forest, cemetery, cave, then castle. Hey, what's happening? Welcome to the chat, Ichabod Crane. Hey, Paul, good to see you. Paul's an awesome guy in our community. Always glad you're here. Thank you so much for watching. We're playing some Princess Quest. This is a ColecoVision homebrew game that was released on iiRcade. I really wish they would release these games with other games so they don't get so much hate. But this is a fun retro game if you're into games from the ColecoVision Atari age. Actually, very good graphics for a Coleco Technology game. If you don't believe me, like I said, just go check out the other games in the ColecoVision segment. There we go. Wow, it's the golden armor. It's the golden armor. Gotta turn the music up for this part. Sorry. Yeah, there we go. Oh, I found the last cross. Yeah, there he is. And we have the boss, the Headless Knight. The Beheaded Knight. I had no idea how to do this guy's pattern. He just was zapping me left and right. But on to live another day, and this is how you learn in these games. That's part of the challenge. I'm just taking tons of abuse. Yeah, there you go. Paul agrees. Like I'm generally against packs of games, but with Coleco games, really wouldn't be a bad idea because it would give people a chance to try them. You know, if it just had a big bundle of them, and I'm usually against that, but for Coleco games, that would make a little sense. What's up, Mitchell B? What's up, Herb Wars? Just did a run through of the Princess Quest game. I did not make it past boss 3, but I did make it to boss 3. There are 5 bosses in the game. This is a game I've really been loving that iiRcade was able to get to us. Community had been asking for it. You know, Cuddles introduced me to it. I made some videos. Then P-Dubs made some videos, and we did get it released on iiRcade. Definitely a great game you want to check out, Saturn Deluxe. Little gameplay footage on of Saturn Deluxe. They had an Intellivision port and a ColecoVision port. Kind of sound like I'm blasting right here. This game is super cool. It's a modern reimagination of Robotron, which isn't very hard to do because Robotron has a very hard firepower mechanic to kind of emulate. This is one of the few games, maybe the only game that I've played that really captures the magic of the arcade game Robotron. From Paul here. Said, love the ColecoVision as a kid, but already had a 2600. No way my parents would buy a second console. Yeah, I kind of made up for it. I never had an Atari. My parents cheaped out and got me the Odyssey 2. So, but all my friends had Atari, and we all went to each other's houses when I was a little kid and played all those games. So, a ton of nostalgia with this era, the 80s. I mean, we even liked Atari Pac-Man, as sacrilegious as it was. But we really loved the games like, you know, Yar's Revenge. A lot of the games that are 2-player are really fun on Atari too, like Combat. It's fun playing with, but you have to play with another person. This is from Ichabod Crane. The Princess Quest release just comes at a bad time. We just got Saturn for free. There are probably some folks that are Coleco fanatics that like it better, and then hoping for it. Yeah, yeah, for sure. And like I said, in my opinion, iiRcade, stop releasing ColecoVision games by themselves. They just get hate. Just hold on to them and release them with something popular. I'm almost like, if you don't have a game that is a modern retro, or maybe hold it, because when they come out by themselves, people just hate on them. And we're all one community, whether you like retro games or modern games. I like all games, so I mean, yeah, I agree. The game is way better than most people are giving it credit for. But like I said, I've played the entire ColecoVision library through emulation. So I mean, I pretty much know every game that's on the ColecoVision. So when I look at it, I compare it to other ColecoVision games. I'm not comparing it to, like, this game, which is fantastic and was free. We had a keeper sound. I wonder if a keeper is about to spawn in. This is one of my favorite parts of this game, is the keepers. They are such a cool enemy. With their laser beams and the way you gotta, like, shoot them a ton to get them to disappear. I have a ton of space. I have every game available for the iiRcade. I still have a lot of space left. I mean, they just compress the games well. And I have multiple machines. None of my machines have ran out of space. I have every game available loaded on them. Yeah, you're not going to have to delete any games at this point. I mean, I have every game. Well, maybe in a year from now, if they keep releasing games at the rate they have been. Shout out to iiRcade, because they have been consistently releasing good games. Now, I got a lot better at this game from watching Nix. Nix has a channel where he actually shows you how to play the games. And I used to think I was a pretty good gamer, but after watching him play, I mean, there's definitely, there are people that are really masters at arcade games, and he gives you a lot of strategy. If you want to get better at some of these games, go check his channel out. He's got good videos that kind of show you how to do better. And this is a game that is basically infinite. So, I mean, I know that some of the best players, they're scoring in the tens of millions now, which is insane, because this game is like at 200,000 right now. Imagine 10 million. About if you're here, tell us about your event that you're doing on your channel. I keep seeing you posting stuff, but I don't really understand exactly what you're doing. I see you have like a bunch of games and brackets. What's that all about? Yeah, this game was one, the whole community was rallying for this game, and they brought it to us for free. We do have an iiRcadians show coming up. The show's been over a month in the making. It'll be a 90s themed show, and every bit of content in the 90s related show, in the 90s iiRcadians retro shows, will be selected from the community of what they thought the best games that were released in the 90s are, that are on iiRcade. So, it should be pretty cool. excited for it. It's been a big project, but it's going to be great. I'm real happy with the content we've developed for the show. And we will have a group of people. You'll have to just wait and see who shows up. But we do have a pretty cool group of iiRcade content creators that are going to come join us. It should be fun. Talk about some games. That's what it's all about, is the games. Donkey Kong was amazing on the ColecoVision. Shout out to Herb Wars. Go give Herb Wars a sub. If you haven't subbed to Herb Wars, you're missing out. Go to his channel. He's got a great channel. Herb Wars makes great content. Really good content creator. Always enjoyed watching content off of his channel. He's got a serious retro game collection. Paul says Yar's Revenge, Combat, and Vanguard. Now this kind of forcing the enemies into the corner, I learned that from Nyx. Nyx kind of showed me that, like when you get that power up, you kind of like shovel the enemies with it and force them into corners. That's a really good power up in the game to get. I did make a review of Saturn Deluxe, kind of explaining what I think of it, but it really has a great gameplay loop. It has everything that a good 80s game would have. It has greed element built in. There's a lot of strategy involved. But it has modern things too, like the fact that all the levels are randomly generated means that no two times you play are exactly the same. And get a chance, like I said, go swing by Nyx's channel and watch some ultra high level gameplay. When he gets to some of the insane levels, the amount of stuff that goes on is just, this game is beautiful to watch. Or says he liked my Princess Quest review. Thank you. I was a little scared to do it because I felt like I was getting a lot of hate, but I mean, I like retro games, so I guess still gave it an 8 out of 10. Retro games, I mean, the games that are infinitely playable, something like Yar's Revenge, to me, that's a 10 out of 10. That's my favorite enemy again. Love these enemies. The Keeper. And this game, one of the things I liked about it is that it does get infinitely, like everyone compares it to Robotron, but it has a lot of uniqueness, which I think was really hard to do. It would have been a lot safer just to copy the Robotron design, but the art style in this game, with the way the enemies splatter, they could have just made little humanoids, but they went with the little blue things that are like your friends. You know, the more friends you get, the better you do. You know? What a good message. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, let's see. Vanilla Beast releasing more games for iiRcade. I do not know. I did watch the stream with P-Dubs, and that was pretty cool. Seems like a pretty cool guy. I'm excited to play the game on iiRcade and see what I think of it. I think the game is going to be pretty hard difficulty though, from just listening to him, and he's okay with it being difficult. So I kind of feel like the game commercially would be a little more successful maybe if it had a more arcade type mode, maybe as an option, but you know, that might double the time that it would take to make the game. I think as far as I know, it's their first game. Yeah, this game, Goofy knows. Goofy knows this game here. We pushed for this game hard because we knew it would be fire when it got on iiRcade. I mean, this is the kind of game that, like, if you're into retro games, this is a reason to have an iiRcade. Playing this with the dual SAMWA sticks is incredible. Once again, the keeper pops out. I love the way he just pops out of the background and onto the screen. This is just a wonderful modern retro game. I mean, it's not going to get better than this for a twin-stick shooter. And if Smash TV is more your jam, we got kind of a version of that too. But you know, Robotron for me, I mean, that's my heartstrings. Every arcade I go to, my channel, Papa Brad's Gaming, I have a huge arcade tours list. And I love doing arcade tours. If I could do anything, I would just do those. But it's kind of cool that we have now the ability to have home arcades. We get to take a lot of that magic home with us. And companies are delivering it. At Games, iiRcade, Cave One Up. They're all delivering different things that make our home arcades better. You play this game, Goofy, how high have you scored? This is my best game. This is my best ever game that I played. So, thank you so much, Paul. I hope to do some more in the future. Just got a much better camera. I'm on a Sony camera now. So I should be able to do some higher video quality with my arcade tours, which I'm excited about. Tuesday night, got the iiRcadians Retro coming up. Be sure to check it out. Show's been in planning for over a month. So iiRcadians Retro this Tuesday night. It's gonna be fun. Info. Let's see. Level 25. That's it. I just got nullified. Thank you so much for hanging out with me a little bit. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. Thank you for watching. Come check us out on Tuesday night. We will have the iiRcadians Retro, the 90s. And Goofy's a little over 4 million. Awesome. Yeah, it gets tough. It gets tough. And this is a game that you're going to keep coming back to and playing over and over again. Thanks, everyone, for watching. And let me run. Let's see. There it is. Okay. Thanks. Peace, everybody. This is Papa Brad, and I'm proud to announce that my channel now has memberships. If you would like to support the iiRcadians show or Papa Brad's Gaming on the crazy arcade adventures he goes on, you can do so. I have 3 different levels: iiRcadians Illuminati, the iiRcadians Inner Circle, and the iiRcadians High Council. You get exclusive content that you'll only be able to view in each category. So if you enjoy what my channel does, and you want to give us a little support, help pay for the StreamYards and the expenses of doing the show, this is a completely optional thing, and I'm just putting it out there. So thank you. This is Papa Brad's Gaming reminding you to stay legit.
you're inferior. You know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built